There was plenty of energy in Queens last night. The Mets faithful were ready for their hero's return, and Chase Utley was ready for his swing to return in double the capacity. The rivalry and the intensity continued into the spring night during just the second meeting of the season. The Mets grabbed another victory with the series finale upon us. 68 years ago today, the game of baseball and really the world was changed. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers, starting at first base that day at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Today in baseball, we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day, and we'll do so tonight here at Citi Field as the Phillies get set to take on the New York Mets. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Ben Davis. It's a great day all around baseball. Every player, all the umpires, everyone will wear the number 42. And for the Phillies today, taking the baseball will be Jerome Williams, making a second start, hoping that he can duplicate what he did in his first start.
He was great in his first start, and after really a rocky spring training where he struggled with command and keeping the ball down, but he did keep the ball down in that first outing. He was phenomenal. When he missed, he did miss down. You'll see some of these pitchers. Michael Taylor comes up, goes deep, his first at bat. After that, he really settled down, and he got a lot of strikeouts. He's not typically a strikeout guy, but was able to get some strikeouts, some ground balls. The other thing he did, he was able to elevate when he needed to, and that's something I think that he can do tonight against the Mets.
3 different occasions. He had 1, 2, 3 innings. He also, at one point during the outing, retired 7 consecutive batters. All right, here's the pitch distribution. It'll probably be the same here tonight.
Yeah, if it's working for him, then he's going to continue to do that. His fastball, like I said, when he was missing with his fastball, it was down, it was off the plate. But he had some great sink on that fastball, and his cutter was absolutely outstanding. But the best thing he was able to do was throw that cutter to both sides of the plate.
All right, so he'll be opposed tonight by Jonathan Neese. Now, Jonathan Neese may not be the greatest pitcher of all time, the greatest pitcher to put a Mets uniform on, but man, oh man, does he have the Phillies number.
He does have the Phillies number. For whatever reason, they can't lay off his high fastball. One thing he does very well is that he's able to throw in and out to lefties and righties. He will challenge lefties inside, but he elevates the fastball, and for whatever reason, the Phillies, it looks good up there, and they seem to attack it. So hopefully they have a little different game plan against Jonathan Neese this evening and get out of here with a victory.
It's a carbon copy. Every single start is just like this. You talk about these high fastballs they can't lay off. That was a start last year where they just couldn't lay off. Now, he was only 1-0 against them last year, but the Mets were 4-0 in the games he pitched.
Yeah, and the ERA, that's the number one number that I look at. The 2.57 ERA. But the bottom line is the Mets did get 4 wins, and that's something that, hopefully they can correct tonight. The Phillies can do that. We'll see what happens, but I think you will see a little bit of a different game plan.
All right, so the Phillies have changed up their lineup again tonight. We'll get to that in just a little bit. As we get set for the finale of this 3-game series, it will be Williams on the mound for the Phils, making his second start. The same for Jonathan Neese, making his second for the New York Mets. Well, so far, we look at what the Phillies have done against these New York Mets. Lucas Duda's had a very good series for the Mets. When we return, we'll go to the Comcast Network studios. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. One deposit checking. Keeping things simple is helping you bank better. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Harvey was out on the mound for the New York Mets as we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day all around baseball. The Phils and the Mets wrap up this 3-game series here in Queens. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It's a change from yesterday. Herrera leads it off in center field, but then Cesar Hernandez plays shortstop. Chase Utley's at second base, batting third. Jeff Rancourt is the cleanup batter. Darren Ruff's at first base, he'll bat fifth. Cody Ashley sixth. And the bottom third of Rupp, Revere, and Williams. And they will face 28-year-old left-hander Jonathan Nice, who in his first outing went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits. Right-handers at .375 in that ball game against him. But like Tom, he has 8 wins against the Phillies with an ERA that's right around 3.
Yeah, he's dominant against the Phillies for whatever reason. 87-91 with his fastball. He does throw some cutters, curve, and you'll see later he's throwing his changeup an awful lot. And as you said, he's 8-6 with a 3 ERA career against the Phillies.
All right, let's take a look at the Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
The keys for me is win one. You know, they got to win one of these 3 games in this series, and that's first and foremost, find a way to win a ball game tonight. They have competed very well in the first 2, but came out of losing the end. And the other one is get Nice out early because, like I said, he has been a big thorn in the Phillies side.
Sounds kind of strange, but DeGrom in the opener didn't have his best stuff, but still won 2-0. And honestly, Matt Harvey had great stuff the first couple of innings last night, but then seemed to tire a little bit as the game moved on. The Phillies had a chance to win that one too.
Yeah, he definitely seemed to tire. We saw the velocity down in the later innings, and I give the Phillies credit. They did compete.
Well, here's Odubel Herrera to lead things off. 1 for 9 in the series, and he takes outside, so we're underway, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Herrera hitting .174 for the season. Now, he has been patient. It has not resulted in him getting on base consistently. He is averaging a little more than 4.5 pitches per plate appearance. And only Christian Yelich has seen more from the Miami Marlins. 2 balls, no strikes. And he rips that one toward the alley in right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Now he can run. Let's see what he does here. Lagares will get it at the track, and here goes Herrera. High stepping over the bag at second, getting to third. His first major league triple to start the ball game.
Well, we've heard that they want their offense to be a little more aggressive. You would think typically a leadoff batter would not be swinging 2-0, but he lets her eat and hits a bullet into right center. I didn't even watch the ball. I just watched him run, and it was fun.
Yeah, it almost looked like he mistimed his stride at second base, so it made it look like he was doing a little Deion Sanders going around the bases. Well, here is Cesar Hernandez, and he whacks the first pitch foul. It's 0-1. Hernandez 0 for 1 so far in this series. Off the hands again. It's 0-2. Cesar for the season hitting .200. He does have a couple RBIs. Came in a pinch hitting appearance. And that one is pulled foul right under the feet of Odubel Herrera, and it remains 0-2.
That's why we stay in foul territory when we're taking our leadoff third. If the ball does hit you, you are not out like you would be in fair territory.
I'd like to see you jump that high. Try to check his swing, but he went around. 1 out here in the first.
It's a high fastball we're talking about, Tom.
Absolutely. Phillies have really struggled to get that runner home from third last year, the year before, and certainly this year. Bring in the lumber, brought to you by Yellowwood. And here is Chase Utley. And Utley last night hit 2 home runs, and there was the first one, and here is the second one.
The second one is launched. Very tight swing. I was impressed with the line drive he hit to the left in his second at bat.
Chase Utley is bringing the lumber, brought to you by Elwood brand pressure treated pine. Well, the first pitch is there for a strike. It's 0-1. Utley 2 home runs last night. He has 6 RBIs. Career 3 for 28 against Nice. He and Ryan Howard have both struggled against Nice. Inside 1-1. Utley was hit last night by Matt Harvey. Harvey said it was an adrenaline rush. He just missed the Missed his spot.
That's just funny.
Ground to right side. That'll get the run home. So Chase will get the RBI. Herrera scores. The Phillies score first. It's 1-0 here in the top of the first.
It wasn't pretty, but it worked. Kind of surprised that once they got that strike on them, they didn't pull the infield in. You know, for a ball club that has struggled to score runs, maybe that's what they're banking on.
Well, here is Jeff Francoeur, and Francoeur swings at the first pitch and pops it foul. First base side, out of play. All right, Murph, we've seen a very aggressive Phillies team so far, and Jeff Francoeur is certainly an aggressive hitter.
Yeah, he always has been, Tom. And, Ben and I were having a conversation with Francoeur today, and he said one thing that he has been concentrating on early this season, he said Steve Henderson has been kind of putting into his head, is to attack the early pitches and not wait for the junk that's going to get thrown later in the count, but to go after those first pitch fastballs. We saw him take advantage of that last night when he launched a long home run out to left field in the 9th inning. I went back and looked at his career numbers. How about this? When swinging at the first pitch, a .333 hitter is Jeff Francoeur. So it's something that's worked for him over the course of his career, and he's trying to keep it going here this season as well.
Well, he swung at 3 pitches, and he lifts that one to shallow right. Granderson makes the catch on a hop. And the side is retired, but the Phillies strike first. A run on a ground out by Chase Utley. They lead it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Strained right hamstring. So we look at his lineup for tonight, brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment home of the Philadelphia Phillies, and it's a little different. In right field is Curtis Granderson. Travis d'Arnaud moves up to the 2 spot, and he'll do the catching. Lucas Duda hits third, followed by Kadire, who's back in the lineup, and Daniel Murphy. Eric Campbell's up from Las Vegas. He'll bat 6. The bottom third of Lagares, Tejada, and Nice, and they'll face Phillies right-hander Jerome Williams, ready to go. And Jerome pitched well his last time out after a very poor spring, and he felt pretty good about the way he threw the ball and the way he kept it down in that ball game.
Well, he should feel good about the way he kept the ball down, because he did. Everything was down. His fastball was down, had good late life. We take a look at the scouting report here. 88 to 92, change, curve, slider, which is more of a cutter, and career versus Mets, he's 1-1.
Well, here's Curtis.
3.48. Sorry, Tom.
That's all right. Here's Curtis Granderson. Granderson has walked 10 times already this year. Look at his on-base percentage. He's hitting 136, and his on-base percentage is 406. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball to left field. Ben Revere is out there, and he'll settle under it. A quick out here in the first. So 1 away, and here is Travis d'Arnaud. Terry Collins, when asked today, well, why did you choose d'Arnaud to move up to the 2 spot? He said, well, he's getting on. You know, we look through the lineup. The Mets look through their lineup, and there's guys that are hitting, but there are guys that are set in their spots. Like Kadire, he wants 3rd, or 4th. He wants Duda 3rd. But d'Arnaud's one of those guys that was in the bottom of the order that was swinging the bat well, so that's why he wanted him to hit second.
And they had David Wright there in that 2-hole, and his presence definitely will be missed. His leadership, obviously the way he plays, but it's a big loss for the Mets. It really is.
Yeah, the Mets feel like it could just be the 2 weeks that he's on the disabled list, maybe a tad more. They said it's a slight strain, but Ben, you've sure have had hamstring injuries before. Nothing's really that slight about them.
No, and you just want to nip this in the bud early on in the season. The last thing you want is to have this thing be prolonged and be out extended periods of time. The hamstring is something you have to take care of.
1-2 pitch. He serves it into right field, a base hit. Well, this is how he injured himself last night. He said he felt it right there. Right before he went into a slide, he said he felt it.
He kind of got caught up in his stride, and most of the time when you're stealing a base, you have the number of steps you have before you have to get into your slide. At least that's just what the fast guys have always told me.
Here's Lucas Duda. Duda is 2 for 8 with a run scored in this series. And he hits that one to center field, playable for Herrera. Yeah, there are 2 outs. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. 2 outs. Michael Kadire will be the batter. Kadire hit in the hands last night by David Buchanan and exited the game. The x-rays were negative. By the time the Mets went into the clubhouse last night, Kadire was already gripping a bat and felt even better this morning. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. David Buchanan was somewhat wild for a portion of his outing last night. He went 5 2/3, struck out 3, but he hit 2 batters.
The ball just rode up and in on him, and I was very surprised to see his name in the lineup today.
I'm with you on that.
I was. Would really like to see David Buchanan's next start just slow things down. Slow it down and just be himself.
2-2 pitch. Chopper foul. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. d'Arnaud goes back to first. Well, David Buchanan's next start will be in the next series when the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals. 2-2 pitch. Popped it up foul. Darren Ruff will give it a peek, but it's going to be out of play. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Marlins and the Braves have finished up their ball game. The Marlins win it 6-2. Adeiny Echeverria 3 for 3 with a home run. Braves have kind of come back to earth. They are 6-3 now after starting 5-0.
And the Marlins woke up.
Yes, they did. Another foul ball. Other early action today. Nationals finished up their series with the Red Sox and they won it 10-5. 12 base hits for the Nationals. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lays off, and it's 3-2. Ruff is now going to play behind the runner at first.
And you're able to do that with a guy that doesn't run particularly well. If you have a rabbit out there at first, you want to hold him.
Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Man, he went fishing. And that ball just kept on twisting out of the strike zone. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll go to the second with the Phillies up by 1. April 26th. All fans 14 and under will receive the Fanatic Baseball Socks as they come to the ballpark. It's against the Atlanta Braves. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Some surprises on that day at the ballpark.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. I think the Fanatic's going to drop some hints about those surprises as we get closer. Here's Darren Ruff to lead things off. Darren getting a chance to play first base today. 7 for 38 against the Mets for his career. And he pulls that one out toward left field. Kadire got spun around a little bit, but he makes the catch.
It's a shame. He hit that ball right on the screws.
I'm telling you, he's had a lot of that this year. He had a lot of that in spring training. Ryan Howard getting the night off. We talked about his numbers against Nice. He has struggled against Jonathan Nice. Well, and let's face it, Ryan has struggled to start the season, too.
Yeah.
Cody Ashe's now the batter. Ashe 3 for 7 in the series. He hit a long home run in last night's ball game. And he lines that one out toward left center field. Kadire's not going to get it. It's going to go all the way to the wall. And Ashe will pull into second base with his first double of the year.
God, that's pretty. Not trying to do too much. Have I said that yet this year about Cody Ashe?
Only once or twice.
Look at this swing. You try and pull that pitch, you roll it over to second every time. Short and compact. That ball was scorched out to left center. That swing can hit any pitch. Up, down, in, out.
Let's see if they get him home. They are certainly aggressive here tonight. There's one out in the second, and Nice has only thrown 18 pitches. And this is the 7th batter to face him. Cam looking for his first hit. 0 for 7 so far.
You know, it's a shame about Darren Ruff's ball. That that would be a run. And I'm sure he got a lot of hey, way to swing it. He doesn't need way to swing it right now. He needs knocks to find himself in the lineup more often.
You know what the problem is, Ben? Ballpark's too big.
This is true. This is true.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Rupp. Fouls it back off to the right. Two balls and 2 strikes. All right, Ben, so the Phillies have 1 run. They have 2 hits against Nice. You've seen him face now 7 batters. What stands out to you? Why is he tough to hit?
Because he can throw to both sides of the plate with his fastball. He's tough in on righties. He's tough in on lefties. You know, the thing that he can do is run that 4-seamer in on righties, and he can also throw the 2-seamer down and away. Obviously an advantage, but
Terry Collins has watched him kind of mature over the years. This is the 5th year for Collins, the manager of the Mets. And Rupp pulls it through the hole on the left side of base hit. Ashe will stop at third, and Cam has his first hit of the season. The Phillies have first and third with 1 man down. I was kind of surprised by these numbers in his last outing, Ben. 31% of the pitches he threw were changeups, which is 22% more than all of last year.
And that's not, you're wondering, that is a drastic difference. But it is only 1 start. maybe it was just he had a great feel for that changeup that day, and he decided to go. If you're getting results with something, you're going to continue to use it. So, you know, I've seen a lot of more fastballs tonight.
Well, he throws a first pitch fastball to Revere, who's hitting 156. The infield is shortened up. They're not all the way in. They'll make a decision on what they're going to do with the ball depending on how it's hit. Revere is 1 for 8 in the series. Takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And they do have to shorten that up. If it was a slower base runner at home plate, they could play back and pretty much make that double play. If the ball's not hit particularly hard to the middle infielders, they can just get the force at second and make sure Cody doesn't score from third.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Revere. Ben batting 8th. This is the 2nd straight game that he's batted 8th. Talked about the aggressiveness that Steve Henderson, Ryan Sandberg want the hitters to have. That's part of the reason why he's batting 8th. Takes low, 3-2. Swing and a miss. And there are 2 outs with runners on first and third. Time now to take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. And the last 15 games between these two teams, the Mets have certainly had the advantage. They've hit better. They've certainly pitched better. Phillies a bit more home runs, but the Mets have scored more runs overall. There are always ebbs and flows when you're facing a team within your division.
Absolutely. The biggest stat there to me was the starter's ERA. I mean, that was almost 2 points higher.
Yeah. 1-0 to Jerome Williams with runners on first and third. And he lines that one out to second. Caught by Murphy. Side is retired. So the Phillies do threaten here in the 2nd inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Middle of the 2nd here at Citi Field. And the Phillies hanging out to a 1-0 lead. Baker, wake up to breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Weekday mornings from 6 until 8 right here on the Comcast Network and streaming live online. Bottom of the 2nd, and the Phillies lead it 1-0. Jerome Williams will face Daniel Murphy, Eric Campbell, and Juan Lagares. Well, as has been the case since 2004, every team and every player is wearing the number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson. It was a ceremonial thing that began with Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Cameron, guys like that. But all around baseball, they decided to adopt, I guess it was a year after 2000. I think 2004 was when they officially said this was Jackie Robinson Day. Bud Selig did that. And then after Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Cameron were the first two guys to wear number 42 in honor of Jackie Robinson, then everybody in baseball decided to do it. And it's a great honor for a great man. Umpires do it. The coaches.
I think it's cool. Major League Baseball is the first league to or have that number retired across the entire league, not just one home team, not just the Dodgers, but all of baseball.
Fly ball to right field. Frank Gore is there, and there's one out. Eric Campbell's coming up. Murph, take it away.
Well, guys, just to continue on that thought, just because the Phillies are not home on Jackie Robinson Day doesn't mean that they will not honor him when we get back to Citizens Bank Park on April 21st. All fans coming to the ballpark are going to get this commemorative pin that I've got on here on my lapel that honors Jackie Robinson. That's for all fans that come to the ballpark when the Phillies play the Marlins on April 21st. It's a 7:05 game, so there will be plenty of special events honoring Jackie Robinson that night when we get back in Philadelphia as well. But as to echo your thoughts, Tom, certainly it's a wonderful night and a wonderful thing that baseball does each and every year to recognize a man who, as you said in the beginning of the program, really obviously changed baseball, but really changed the way this country thinks about a lot of different things. So it's terrific, and folks can come out and celebrate it on April 21st if they'd like as well.
He started that day as a first baseman, eventually moved as his career moved on to second base. Such a gifted athlete. And everywhere they were honoring Jackie Robinson. Here is Terry Virts, who is an astronaut that is currently at the International Space Station. How cool is this? He sent this out today on Twitter, honoring Jackie Robinson, wearing the number 42 Dodgers jersey with the Brooklyn Dodgers cap and the baseball floating.
That is really cool.
And honestly, I started following him and looking at some of the pictures that he's posted. Oh, my goodness. Some of the photos he's put up.
Really?
Incredible.
I'm going to have to do that.
I guess he had a plan ahead for that, huh, Tom? Bring that jersey with him.
He was he had a little he was thinking, he had a little foresight, Murph. That's the word I'm looking
for. Foresight. I don't think UPS would get that to him.
No balls and one strike to Lagares with a runner at first. And that one gets away from Rupp. He doesn't know where it is. He still doesn't know where it is. It's behind the umpire. He doesn't see it. And then eventually Campbell goes up to second base. I don't know if Dan Bellino knew where it was, to be honest with you. He was walking around looking with Rupp, and it was just at the foot of his heel.
No idea. And that's why as a pitcher you have to say left, 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 or right, right, right. He had no idea. Neither one knew where it was. Two blind squirrels looking for a nut there, huh, Tom?
All right, so Lagares is up now with the count, 1 ball and 1 strike, and a runner at second base. And a foul ball, and it's 1-2.
And Campbell had no intention of going anywhere.
And he wasn't sure what to do with it. Bellino's behind the plate, Dreckman's at first, Tom Hallion's at second, and Alfonso Marquez is around at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The dirt again, 2-2. There was a moment where Rupp didn't know where that one was either.
I thought he almost scooped that up with his mask as well, which would not be good. That would allow the base runners to advance. You're not allowed to use your mask to corral the ball.
Out towards center field, Herrera is going to play it on one hop, rounding third, heading for him is Campbell. And the throw will be cut off by Rupp, and we're tied up at 1. RBI single for Lagares, his third hit of the series. So the wild pitch certainly helped the Mets on that base hit.
Absolutely. It's a fastball that's supposed to be down and away. It ends up middle in and up. Herrera does a very good job of hitting the cutoff man. He doesn't try and airmail it all the way to home. That would have allowed Lagares to get to second base. So very good job of hitting that cutoff man and keeping the double play in check.
Well, now Ruben Tejada. Tejada playing shortstop today. Wilmer Flores has struggled somewhat at shortstop, although Terry Collins said this was a planned day off for Wilmer Flores.
I don't know if that double he pinch hit last night, the double off the wall and left, had anything to do with that, but
well, there was some thought that Flores would move to third with David Wright going on the disabled list. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Out toward right field, that's going to drop for a base hit. Lagares stops at second. And the Mets now with runners on first and second with 1 man down, and Jonathan Neese is coming up.
wise decision by Lagares not to attempt that one. Jeff still can throw it from right field.
Jeff Francoeur is currently third active among outfielders in assists with 121. We've already seen him show off his arm not only in the spring but also during the course of the season. Carlos Beltran has 134 outfield assists, and Torrey Hunter has 125. And Francoeur, of course, with 121.
Damage control right here. He's given up 3 hits in a row and a run. He's most likely bunting here, but keep it where it's at 1-1.
Takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Bunts in front of the plate. Rupp barehands it, fires to third for the second out of the inning. Boy, that was a gutsy and a real good play. The bare hand really helped him.
Absolutely. Good hop there by Cameron Rupp. Bouncing out from behind the plate. Comes out and fired. No hesitation. That's what I like. No hesitation. You know what? I think I can get him. I'm going to go ahead and jump on this thing. A big cat. Did get a nice bounce. Why not? Why not be aggressive?
Here's Curtis Granderson, and he takes low, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the word fundamentals we've heard a lot through spring training. We've heard it a lot for the first week. And that was fundamentally sound right there by Cameron Rupp.
It's a great play. And Cody Ashley, I give him credit for not throwing that across the diamond, trying to complete that double play. You want an errant throw right there. It's ill-advised.
One ball, no strikes to Curtis Granderson. Off the glove of Rupp, and it's 2-0.
Gonna clank that one.
balls, no strikes. Outside, and it's 3-0. Curtis Granderson is wearing a special pair of spikes tonight with the number 42 on them. In honor of Jackie Robinson, he is going to auction those off, whatever spikes he wears in this game. And the proceeds from those autographed spikes that he'll auction off will go toward the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Talking about a guy who does an awful lot of work for the community.
He does so much. Charities, does a lot for boys and girls clubs. He's just really is a good ambassador of baseball. Just another great idea he has, raise some money.
Three balls, one strike. That one's lined out towards center field. Herrera comes running in. He's there. Makes the one-headed catch, and the side is retired. However, the Mets tie it up at an RBI single by Juan Lagares. They leave a couple. We'll go to the third in a 1-1 game. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Ben, what MLB awards did Jackie Robinson win in 1947 and 1949? The answer will be revealed a little later on. 1-1 scores. We go to the top of the third inning. Prior to the start of the ball game, Al Jackson, a member of the Mets World Championship team in 1969, threw out the ceremonial first pitch to Mookie Wilson, who was a member of the Mets championship team in 1986. Actually, his location was pretty good, although I think he's going to be icing for about 3 days.
Traitor!
Here's Odubel Herrera, who led off the game with a triple to right center field and then came around to score. Swing and a miss, and it's no balls and one strike. Ryan Sandberg adjusted his starting lineup today with Herrera leading it off. That's not the adjustment. He led off in last night's ball game as well. But Cesar Hernandez in the on-deck circle. Jeff Francoeur behind Chase Utley. I think Rhino is still trying to find some kind of rhythm offensively with this team, which is hitting collectively .215 and has scored just 21 runs. Well, 22 now with the run they scored here tonight.
Yeah, and you look at it, last night they hit 4 home runs and lose 6-5. You know, it's just a matter of getting these guys on. It's a big surprise that they hit 4 home runs because they're not patterned to do that.
Right.
But you go and knock 4 out of the park and still lose 6-5, and it's. But they are competing, they are battling, and that's what you like to see.
Oh, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outside 3-2.
You know, guys, I talked to Ryan Sandberg about that yesterday. You know, when he had played around with the lineup yesterday, and it was trying. The word he kept using was spark. He was trying to find a spark, something that would, you know, get the offense going, someone that could get the offense going. And you know, we saw that last year. He would tinker with the lineup an awful lot in order to try and get things, you know, clicking in the right direction. And that's what he seems to be doing early this season as well.
Yeah, we're 9 games in, and the number of similar lineups have been fewer and far between. For the Phillies here in 2015. Odubel Herrera, he had one of those at-bats last night.
I am trying to figure out what in the world that was.
Second strike, or third strikeout, I should say, for Nice. Hernandez bunts right back to the mound, and there are 2 quick outs. That'll bring Chase Utley to the plate, and Chase is our Geico quote of the day, and it was based on last night getting hit by a pitch from Matt Harvey. Getting hit by a pitch is part of the game. It's not the first time I've been hit, and it probably won't be the last, says the guy who's been hit 170 times during his major league career. Well, here it is last night. He said some things to Alfonso Marquez as he was going down the first base line. There you go. Active leader now and hit by a pitch, 1 ahead of Alex Rodriguez.
He just doesn't move. It's the way he is. I see a ball coming to me, I'm jumping.
That's why you're not on that list. Fly ball, shallow left center. Lagares comes running in. And the Gold Glover from a year ago makes the catch, and the side is retired. Pretty quick top of the 3rd for Nice. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd in a 1-1 game. Coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And buy the Quality Plus Sports Stores. Go further. We're tied at 1. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Travis d'Arnaud, Lucas Duda, Michael Kadire, 2, 3, and 4 for the Mets against the Phillies. d'Arnaud singled his first time up, singled to right. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Jerome Williams was drafted in the 1st round back in 1999. That one's pulled deep down the left field line toward the pole. It is gone.
guy's hot. Terry Collins with the right move to bump him up in the order. David Wright going on the DL. I'll get out of here in a hurry.
First home run of the year for d'Arnaud.
Doubles up on that curveball. Threw it 1-0 for a strike and doubled up on it for the 1-1 pitch. Kind of just rolled out of his hand. Not very sharp break on that one.
Well, that's an RBI now in the last 8 games. Or excuse me, 7 of the last 8 games for d'Arnaud. As Duda takes low, it's 1 ball and no strikes. So 2-1 New York here at the bottom of the 3rd. Ground ball to right. And Chase Utley will throw out Duda. Michael Kadire is coming up. Kadire lines that one foul down the right field line. Foul tip, and it's 0-2. Mentioned that Williams was drafted in the first round in 1999. There are 5 players currently drafted in the first round of '99 who are still playing in the big leagues. Chopper right side. Chase Utley gobbles it up. 2 outs.
Only 1 trivia question per game, Tom.
I was going to ask you the 5 were. There's another one, the 6th one that's playing in the minor leagues. That is Barry Zito.
Really?
I always wonder when a guy's been around the game since 1999, if he was a first-round draft pick, how many of those guys actually made it to the big leagues? Daniel Murphy takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
You talk about the great starting pitchers in the National League East. When you had to go up against Zito, Mulder, and Hudson in Oakland when they were in their prime in the early 2000s, good luck. You very easily could go over 12 in a 3-game series.
Yeah, but you were with the juggernaut Mariners.
Yeah.
Out to left field, Benavides floats back, is under it, and the sign is retired. But the Mets take the lead on the solo home run by Travis d'Arnaud. We'll go to the 4th. Jeff Francoeur will lead it off. Pages per minute. Get yours today for up to 50% off. From who but WB Mason. Jonathan Neese has a 2-1 lead to work with as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Here at Citi Field, he'll face Jeff Francoeur, Darren Ruff, and Cody Ashe. Phillies have managed 3 hits against him. He has struck out 3 through the first 3 innings. Chopper left side. He really is aggressive. It wasn't surprising when Murph threw those numbers out. 333 hitter against the first pitch.
Yeah, it's a good pitch by Nice. You saw Darno wiggling his finger. Knew it was going to be a changeup. You know, it comes out of his hand thinking it's a heater. Changeup, you're out in front.
Well, the Mets certainly know him, not only because he played for the Braves, but he also played here. Part of the 09 and 2010 season.
I congratulated him on his home run last night and said it's always nice to do it against your old team.
Did he walk away and say, those teams are starting to pile up now? First pitch is low to Rupp. It's 1-0. He does make it a point to say hello every day. It's somewhat startling in this day and age of the athletes. I mean, he goes out of his way to say hi to everybody.
He's really enjoying his experience. I mean,
great guy.
He's been around the last couple of years in the minor leagues.
1-2 pitch to Rupp. Fights that one off. A little looper out toward first. And there are 2 outs. All right, Murph, 2 outs. Cody Ashe is coming up. Let's see if he can do what he did his last time up. And I think the Phillies are hoping that Chad Billingsley continues to do what he's been doing to get back up here to the big leagues.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Tom. And the news was good today. He had a start at the Lehigh Valley for the Iron Pigs, his second rehab start as he tries to work his way back to the big leagues and back into the Phillies rotation, or into the Phillies rotation, I should say. He went 5 innings. He allowed 2 hits, no runs in that outing. Afterwards, he was talking to some reporters. He says he feels really good. He's pain-free right now. And he said the doctor told him, you know, if he's pain-free for about 6 weeks after pitching, you know, a full schedule, then he's in the clear, and that's what he's working towards right now. He thinks that the plan is 3 more rehab starts with the Iron Pigs before they think about bringing him up, but the results have been good. He threw 73 pitches today, which is a good sign as well. So, you know, he's probably about 2 weeks away from getting a chance to come up and join this rotation, but he's continuing to work his way back, and the results certainly were good today, guys.
Yeah, he said the other day that he's going to need to be at least at 100 pitches or have thrown 100 pitches in a game before he would feel comfortable with coming back up and pitching in the big leagues. As Ashe loops that one into left field.
Hey, Tom, he also said today that he didn't have his best stuff, but he felt like when he needed to make a pitch, he was able to. He worked on his secondary pitches as well and was able to use all of those. So that's an important part of the rehab process as well. So, you know, it's still going to take a little bit of time for him to get back. As you mentioned, he threw 73 today. He wants to get to 100 before he thinks about being in a big league game, but that'll come in a couple of weeks.
All right, Murph. Well, there's 2 outs now for Cameron Rupp with a runner at first, and Rupp takes a strike. It's 0-1. Some of the young pitchers the Phillies have in the farm system. Speaking of Billingsley pitching at Lehigh Valley, Adam Morgan looks like he's healthy, which is a good thing. Down in Double-A, that 3-headed monster of Biddle, Eflin, and Wendell, their first time out on the mound, they allowed 1 earned run in 17 innings of work. As that one is poked through the hole on the right side, Ashe will stop at second base. Put runners on first and second. Aaron Nola is scheduled to start the home opener for the Reading Phillies tomorrow. He didn't pitch all that bad his first time out against Portland. He gave up a 3-run home run in the first inning, but then kind of settled in. Lively pitched well, so there's a lot of good things that are happening in the farm system as the Phillies continue to try to refurbish the farm system with young arms.
Well, especially with the arms. That's how you build organizations. That's how you build winning teams in the big leagues. As long as they can continue to develop these guys, they're going to have a lot more success in the big leagues.
Yeah, Roman Quinn, one of the position players the Phillies are obviously very high on, is off to a very good start for the Reading Titans as well. Then Revere takes way inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Even though they changed the name a couple years ago, I still find myself calling them the Reading Phils instead of the Reading Titans every once in a while. Broke his bat. Slow roller out towards second, and Murphy is there. And he'll have the force play at second base to end the 4th. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left for the Phils. Middle of the 4th here at Citi Field. Phillies trailing it by 1. local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. Buy Yellowwood. Yellowwood pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. And buy Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Mets lead at 2-1. A Travis d'Arnaud home run broke a 1-1 tie. Phillies fans are settling in here at Citi Field. I was actually went back to Jersey today and came back up on the train. And when I got to Penn Station, there were a number of Phillies fans that were walking through, getting ready to hop onto the Long Island Railroad and come out towards Citi Field. It's only a 19-minute ride from Penn Station if you take the LIRR.
You're very worldly, Tom.
Yeah, sometimes I buy the wrong ticket, though. Ben Revere makes a leaping grab, and there's one away.
Great play, Ben. Great play. Campbell got to hit his first time up on a sinker down and in from Jerome, and very aggressive again. And Ben, that's a tough play. You know, the ball's hit at you like that. You don't know if it's going to continue to carry. He gets that glove up there in time.
We've seen Ben every once in a while freeze on some of those line drives, and I think he may have taken a half step in as he went back, but using athleticism to make that grab. No balls and one strike. Juan Lagares, RBI single. Out of play, 0-2.
A drastic difference in crowd tonight, Tom. I mean, drastic.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
Whole section up in left field, the very top. There's no one there.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
I was talking with Kevin Long, the Mets hitting coach today. He goes, how about the atmosphere last night? I said it was playoff-like.
It really was. There's a liner to right field. Lagares is 2 for 2. Who are the 4 players who best represent the history of the Phillies, and who are the 4 greatest living Major League Baseball players? Go to MLB.com franchise 4 to cast your ballots. Winners will be revealed during the All-Star Game, July 14th on Fox. By the way, to wrap up that Billingsley story, Billingsley did say today that he's scheduled to make his next start with the Reading Titans against the Akron, the Indians AA affiliate. I don't even know what they're called anymore. They used to be the Arrows. I think they're the Rubber Ducks or something like that.
No.
I think that's what they're called.
Come on.
I got to get up on my minor league nicknames. Carl, are they the Rubber Ducks now, or the Rubber Duckies? 0-1 to Tejada. Over to third. Knocked down by Ashe. He still has a play at first, and he fires across the diamond. Well, it would have been a double play ball, but he does get 1 out, so there are 2 outs here in the 4th.
It's a shame. That's a tailor-made double play ball. Cody just kind of clanks it off his glove there. Was able to get an out, but you'd like to see him come up with that ball cleanly.
They are officially the Akron Rubber Ducks.
Oh, that song's going to be stuck in my head the rest of the night.
What, the Rubber Ducky song?
You're the one.
Jonathan Neese, the fielder's choice, his first time up. Which is inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, that would have been nice to get that double play. Pitcher leading off, but it's all right.
Runner goes from second. The ball is slapped toward the hole at base, and it's in left field. How about that? An RBI single for Neese. It's a 3-1 ball game. All right, tell me who did what on purpose there. Was that a hit and run?
No, it's not a hit and run. I know Neese was trying to get a hit on purpose.
And Lagares was trying to steal third on purpose.
I'm thinking Lagares didn't know there were 2 outs. You get thrown out at third there with the pitcher up. your manager's not going to be very excited about that.
No balls and 1 strike to Granderson.
I mean, it worked out for the Mets, but that was the last thing in the world I was expecting.
Out to left field again, another base hit.
Tell you what, give these Mets credit. They're going with the pitches. You know, we see the Gars had a hit earlier. Darno had a hit to right. Both righties hitting the ball hard to right field. A couple of these lefties coming up, driving the ball, hitting the ball hard to left field as well. Not trying to do too much. I would like to see Jerome try and crowd these hitters a little bit more. Get some pitches in, and that will open up the outside part of the plate.
And particularly in this kind of ballpark, if you can crowd them a little bit more, you've got so much more room. You can pitch to the depths of the ballpark.
Absolutely.
Darno 2 for 2, a single and a home run. Over to third, and Ashe will take it to the bag. Side is retired. Big play in this. Let's reach back into that cavity of yours. What MLB awards did Jackie Robinson win in 47 and 49?
I actually thought this was one of the easier ones that we've had.
Oh, okay, good.
Let's say Rookie of the Year in 47
that
and
is
MVP
correct.
in 1949.
That is correct. Knowing your baseball history. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. So we don't always play the buzzer. We play the bell, and we give you a round of applause every once in a while. There's Jerome Williams, who takes low. 1 ball and no strikes, along with Ben Davis and Greg Murphy. I'm Tom McCarthy. Ben is going to head home after this, and Matt will join us this weekend in Washington.
He's been down there since 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, is he already there?
That's what he said, yeah.
He'll be the welcoming committee when we arrive at the hotel at 2:45 a.m. Slow chopper left side. And Campbell has a very easy time throwing out. Jerome. 1 out here, the 5th, and back to the top of the order for Odubel Herrera. Too bad for Matt that the Capitals are up here in New York playing the Islanders. He could have went to a hockey game tonight.
Yes.
I think that game's up here. Carl? No, it's down there. He might be at the hockey game. It's in Washington.
It's in Washington. Well, they did show the score up here earlier. It was 1-0 Isles.
Herrera is 1 for 2. Shows bunt. Takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. By the way, speaking of bunting, we found out after the game last night, Freddie Galvis bunted with Buchanan at third. We thought he did it on his own. Apparently he did not. Apparently that was a design safety squeeze that was implemented by Ryan Sandberg. Herrera lines that one toward left field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Kadire will get to it, but Herrera is on his way to second, and he'll get there sliding. So he's got a triple and a double.
Let me keep it going here. We have runner in scoring position. I'm not saying you have to score 2 to tie it up, but get back in this ball game. Find a way to get this run across home plate. You got a couple outs to do it with. They've all had a couple of bats against Jonathan Neese. Go up there with a purpose.
Well, Cesar is 0 for 2. He is singled. He's also, or excuse me, he struck out. He's also grounded out. Anyway, getting back to that play last night, because we were kind of confused about why Galvis bunted in that spot with Buchanan over at third. Ryan Sandberg said after the game, we're going to continue to do what we do. And in his mind, that was a perfect situation for a safety squeeze. Cesar takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. I was just surprised he did it, and I know you were too, but I was surprised because the infield was in. You got a pitcher at third base who's not really a base runner, and so much has to happen. I mean, you rely on the base runner to be able to read whether that ball is advanceable or not. It turned out it was popped up anyway.
And that's not David Buchanan's fault. He's just he's a pitcher. He's not used to being on third base and getting reads on balls. And plus, Freddie's been swinging the bat well. And that's why we were kind of caught off guard with the decision.
Cesar takes high. It's 3-0. Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Ronald Roach of Newcastle, Delaware. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Ronald will win $100.
Good luck, Ronald.
Chase Utley made a winner last night in the first inning. Ball 4, and now the Phils have 2 on with 1 out. All right, so they have the right guy up, at least considering what happened last night's ball game. He didn't do anything wrong last night. He just hit 2 home runs.
Means you did something right when you get booed, Tom.
His average at 185. Those 2 home runs gave Utley 230 for his career as a second baseman, which is 9th best in baseball history. 3 behind Dan Uggla, 14 behind Lou Whitaker, 22 behind your old teammate Brett Boone.
The Boone.
Oh, the Boone. And Utley butts toward third. Charging is Campbell. Bare hands and throws. Dug out by Duda. Runners move up to second and third.
Just a little too hard. Decent idea, I guess, but went deep last night. 3 for 3 with 2 homers. Although, going into tonight's ball game, he was what again, Tom? 3 for 28 against Jonathan Neese.
Yeah, 3 for 30, counting the 0 for 2 tonight.
So, I'm sure that did factor into it. Maybe French should get a 2-out knock here and score a couple runs.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. I'd still love to see him swing away there, though. I mean, I understand what he was trying to do. Maybe load up the bases and give Francoeur a chance with 1 out. Francoeur flat out to right, grounded out to short. The 0-1 pitch. Just a bit low. 1-1.
That's the only thing I could think of. You know,
yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable, get somebody. Keep that train moving.
in the dirt. Darno keeps it around the area, and it's 3-1 to Francoeur. Herrera at third, Hernandez at second. Ruff on deck.
You got to think Nice is going to challenge him here. Two-run lead, but he does know that Frenchie is a free swinger. Might want him to see if he can get something to chase here, right here.
Inside, and the bases are loaded for Darren Ruff. Second walk of the inning. And the bases are loaded. Citizens Bank Red Goes Green night will be Wednesday, April 22nd, when the Phillies take on the Miami Marlins. All fans coming to the ballpark will receive the MLB Network reusable tote. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. So Dan Worthen out to talk to Jonathan Nice. His pitch count is at 69. All right, so Darren Ruff is lined out to left, and he looped out to first. 0 for 2. Be a good time to kind of bust one into the gap here.
That's a big spot right here. The gapper sure would be nice.
And he breaks his bat, and it's caught at third by Campbell. And the Phillies leave him loaded. They've left 5 in the last couple of innings. And Nice works out of the jam here in the top of the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 3 men left. than 6 million people in the greater Philadelphia region. There's ample opportunity to help build houses, volunteer, or be a mentor. Visit citizensbank.com/community to learn more. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. And that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank. Bottom of the 5th inning. Lucas Duda will lead it off against Jerome Williams. Well, Ben, the Phillies certainly have had some chances the last couple of innings.
Yeah,
haven't been able to cash in. It happens. Duda's 0 for 2. That one's hit a mile out toward right center field, and it is gone. First home run of the year for Duda.
This ball is just a lot of first pitch swinging in this ball game. I mean, a lot. And that went into the seats.
That would have been a home run when they opened the ballpark.
Yeah.
Kadire takes low. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well past where the original wall used to be.
Oh, you see that Geico sign? I mean, it went into the semi. People were reaching up.
Yeah.
2-1 to Kadire. Well, you saw that graphic, 30 home runs a year ago. Foul ball at the plate.
I know we're down in the dugout today, and the Mets were on the field, and Larry looked at me. Larry Anderson says, "Who's that at first?" I said, "It's Lucas Duda." He goes, "I had no idea he was that big." You haven't seen him out there the first 2 nights? But yeah, he's a big boy. He really is.
Well, we're a pretty good distance away. Maybe you can loan him your binoculars.
Yeah.
He's a guy that's always had to earn time wherever he is, whether it be college or here in the big leagues. That one's pulled down the left field line and hooking fair. And Kadire's on his way to second. And he's there with a stand-up double, his first double of the year. I don't know if he thought that ball hooked into the seats. I don't know if he thought that it took a hop into the stands. I mean, it was really close. We lose it once it goes past those stands, but he was way out front. All right, take a look. Now that is reviewable if the Phillies decide to do it. Jerome Williams is not getting up on the mound right now. He's just wandering around. Ryan Sandberg has not come up to the top of the dugout steps. I guess they feel like that was a fair ball.
It was fair, I believe. It did kick up some chalk, but it wasn't by a whole lot.
It doesn't have to hit the middle of the line. It just has to hit the line in some way. Ground ball right side. That'll get the runner over to third. Bobbled for a moment by Utley.
Another first pitch swing. You know, you look down the lines there, and there's just not a lot of foul territory. But this ball, yeah, it's fair.
It just barely hit the left edge of that chalk.
Great camera work there, but yeah, it was fair.
And that slow-mo really does help. I mean, you asked the Minnesota Twins several years ago in their playoff games against the Yankees, that ball down the left field line that was called incorrectly by Phil Cuzzi, who was the left field umpire at the time. Replay was not in vogue at that point. It certainly would have helped in that division series or in that playoff series. Part of the reason why they put replay in. Eric Campbell's the batter, just up from AAA. Grounds it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Remember, Campbell got caught up last year. I believe he got his first big league hit off Cole Hamels. Single up the middle. Remember watching that? How you remember things.
He played 85 games last year, eventually, with the Mets after that first hit. Foul tip, it's 1-2. He was off to a pretty hot start down in AAA. He was hitting .550.
You're kidding.
Yeah. It was only a week.
How many games?
It was a week.
Okay.
2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Chopper toward third. Ashe's got it coming home, and it hits the runner. And everybody will be safe. Going to second base is Campbell. Cody just didn't have an angle as he came down the line. A clean throw, they would have gotten Kadire, but that was a tough angle.
It is a tough angle, and you definitely want to keep that run from scoring. Prevent this from 3-run ball game becoming a 4-run. But it's tough to cut down that angle. And you can't throw it over him to lob it over him because he might have beat the throw.
So a fielder's choice, E5, no RBI. Yeah, once he went into foul territory, Ben, that was a great shot right there, great angle.
Yep.
There was really no way, unless Rupp was on the backside of home plate. Bob McClure out to talk to Jerome Williams. Justin DeFreitas is starting to throw in the pen. Garris is 2 for 2. Breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Inside, 1-1.
That's exactly what we're talking about, though. The Phillies offense. They have an opportunity, bases loaded, 2 outs. They don't get the runs in. Still only a 3-1 ball game. Then the very next inning, you go out and give up a pair right away to make it 5-1. So it's just a turn of momentum, a turn of events that could have gone in the Phillies' favor, but didn't. You make them respond. You make their offense respond. But it didn't work out that way.
Fly ball, shallow right field. Utley goes sprinting out. Francoeur comes sprinting in. And there are 2 outs. Back to second goes Campbell, and now Tejada will bat.
Long way to go for that ball, did Jeff.
Pretty good breeze going out there, too.
Yeah. A beautiful day early on. Really beautiful day in the city, and got up here, and the wind started to blow a little chilly. Overall, very pleasant.
I'm going to put Tejada on to face Nice. Even though Nice has an RBI single, it's the right call considering it's 5-1 at this point. You've got to minimize the damage. Well, any more damage, not minimize the damage, any more damage.
Still baffled when Nice was up last time. Lagares tried to steal third with 2 outs.
I think you were right on. Because it's a lefty hitter. It's a pitcher. You get thrown out. They were just fortunate.
Yeah.
There's no way that was, like I said, that was a hit and run.
No.
2 outs.
Not with just a man on second.
Right. Well, here you go. This is what Ben's talking about. Quite honestly, he didn't even have that great of a jump.
Well, no one was holding him on.
Well, now Nice is up again for the 3rd time in this game. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. And he takes strike 1.
And we're only into the 5th inning. We're not talking about the first pitch swings. The Phillies have swung at the first pitch 9 times, and the Mets have swung at 7. That is a lot.
Crowder to first. He broke his bat. Top of the bat chipped off. 3 unassisted. 2 more runs score. The home run by Duda starts it. They add 1 more. We'll go to the top of the 6th inning. 5-1. Mets on top. On all cylinders to start the 2015 season. Out of the bullpen and into the crucial late innings, the relief corps has stepped in and stepped up in consistent fashion. A strong point last season has once again become a controlling factor on a nightly basis. With a few new faces and Papelbon ready to close the door, the back end of each game has belonged to the Phillies. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, the Phillies are probably going to be in their bullpen rather soon here tonight, but not in a positive way. They trail at 5-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And Jonathan Neese will face Cody Ashley, Cameron Rupp, Ben Revere. With the Mets on top by 4, the Phillies trying to salvage this 3-game series. Ashley is 2 for 2. Doubled his first time up, singled his last time up. Keeps swinging the way he's swinging, depending on who's out on the mound. He may see him move up even more in this lineup. I know he's not your prototypical 5-hitter, but they may keep on moving him up. Maybe move him to the 2-hole. Try to do something to generate some offense.
He looks awesome.
Curveball, and he whacks it right through the middle of base hit.
I mean, awesome. And we were very fortunate to have Keith Hernandez just walk in our booth in between innings. So what do you think of Cody Ashley? He goes, he looks good.
Yeah, Keith wasn't totally sold on him, and Keith was an unbelievable hitter in his own right.
Off-speed pitch, recognizes it, stays back. That ball really backed up. But again, with that swing plane, you're staying inside the baseball. If he comes out and around that because the ball backs up, and we say it doesn't break down in a way like it's supposed to, the ball backs up. If he gets out and around that ball, he's going to smother it to second base.
Ground ball to shortstop. That may be 2. Nope, booted by Tejada, and everybody will be safe. E6, and the Phils have runners on first and second.
Well, Cameron, that ball was hit very hard. Cameron and Cody have been outstanding tonight. Ball's hit hard. I mean, they're going to double up Cameron, but nice to see him barrel another one. Can they scratch and claw their way back into this one?
Well, it'll be Revere, and then it looks like Freddie Galvis, who's out of the on-deck circle to pinch hit. For Jerome Williams will be done after 5 innings tonight. Or maybe Andres Blanco. Nope, it's Andres Blanco. 1 ball, no strikes. To the right side, Duda's got it. It's a second for 1, and that's all they'll get. 3-6 on the put out. Fielder's choice, first and third, and it will be Andres Blanco who will pinch hit here in the 6th inning. Thursday night, it's a showdown at the Big Apple as the Union take on NYCFC. NYCFC in the second half of a home-and-home series. Union versus NYCFC. Thursday night at 7 right here on the Comcast Network. We'll be playing over at Yankee Stadium.
I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah. In fact, if you watched any of the opening series the Yankees had against the Blue Jays, a lot of marks out in the outfield.
Really?
Right center field, yeah. Yankee players weren't too happy that the Yankees struck in a partnership with Manchester City to bring an MLS franchise to New York. Andres Blanco takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
They're messing up their pitch.
That's exactly what they're messing up, Ben. Darno off with the mask.
Why can't they just call it the field? Why have to call it their pitch? The pitch.
Why does Canada have Celsius instead of Fahrenheit? I mean, we can go on and on about this. Everybody's different, Ben. Everybody's different. He said he went around, and now it's 1-2 to Blanco.
I'd still like to see that appealed. And there's a reason he's down there. You know, it was close. I guess, you know, Dan Bellino thought it was apparent to him that he went, but good swing there.
He probably did go, but that was close.
He probably did go, but, you know, you'd still like to get a different angle on that.
Back toward the mound. Nice turns quickly to second for 1. Oh, Murphy cut off Tejada, and they still turn the double play. A 1-4-3 double play. Side is retired. The Phillies leave 1. We leave for the bottom of the 6th. Day all around ballparks. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier 68 years ago, and it was back in 2004 when then Commissioner Bud Selig deemed April 15th, or I should say, yeah, April 15th, Jackie Robinson Day. And you take a look at the numbers for Jackie. 311 career average, 137 home runs, 197 stolen bases. He was a 6-time All-Star. They traded him or sold him to the Giants, and he said, I'm not going. I'm going to call it quits. That's what he did. He did so much, not only for baseball, obviously, but did so much for civil rights here in the United States. Justin DeFreitas will pick things up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5th ball game for DeFreitas, a 1.93 earned run average. Three-man overship for Granderson, and the pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. According to the USA Today, there are 868 current major league players, whether it be active or on the disabled list. 7.8% are African Americans. And that's compared to 1986 when 19% of major league players were African Americans. But Major League Baseball has tried to incorporate a number of initiatives to grow the game in the inner cities and with African Americans around the United States. In fact, the RBI leagues, how about this, Ben? The RBI leagues has grown 80% since 2009. And the number of players that are part of the RBI programs. RBI stands for Revitalizing Baseball in the Inner Cities. Tremendous program that Major League Baseball started some years ago. The USA Today article also pointed out that 2 years ago there were 7 African American players who were drafted in the first round in Major League Baseball's amateur drafts.
Well, the man at the plate right here, Curtis Granderson, said, you know, he's very open about it. He says, we need to get African Americans playing more baseball. You know, he's a big advocate. And again, we talk about all the things that he does, but he's very open about it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, that one just a little low. 3-2. And a called strike 3. Granderson thought it was in tight. Says the man with 10 walks this year, he's down looking. And 1 out here in the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th inning. Well, how about the way the top of the 6th came to a close? Ben, look at this. I don't know how Murphy and Tejada didn't collide and knock each other down.
No idea. And that's just poor communication on both their parts. You give Jonathan Neese a lot of credit. Give him credit for getting rid of the ball, but this is, before every pitch they'll say, you know, they'll communicate, you know, open mouth, closed mouth, open glove, closed glove, whatever. I have it, you know, and they'll look at the pitches. Fastball in, shortstop's going to stay home. And then Daniel Murphy would get a fastball away. Murphy would most likely stay home and have the shortstop covered.
And a lot of times you'll see the pitcher and the infielders signal to each other. Say, hey, do you have it? If he points to the shortstop, or do you have it? He points to the second baseman.
Absolutely.
Well, they were fortunate, but their night has gone quite well. They have 5 runs on 10 hits. And it seems like a lot of the plays that could go either way have gone their way. 1 ball, 1 strike to d'Arnaud. And just a tad low. It's 2-1.
d'Arnaud didn't seem too pleased with the pitch before that. Almost smoked him.
One-out walk. Phillies baseball is brought to you by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Buy Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And buy Toyota. Where will Toyota take you? Visit buyatoyota.com to find out. Toyota, let's go places. Well, Ben Davis and Greg Murphy, Tom McCarthy here at Citi Field. Final game of this 3-game series. Phillies will head to Washington, a 4-game set beginning tomorrow night. 2 night games and 2 day games. As Duda takes low, and it's 1-0. Duda's 1 for 3. Homered his last time up. In the dirt again. Out toward the alley in left center field. Revere's not going to get it. It's going to roll to the wall. Another run is going to score as d'Arnaud cruises home easily. It's an RBI double for Duda. 4 doubles now for Lucas Duda on the year. It's 6-1. That's on top.
Strong swing. And there's a lot of grass in that outfield. He beat Williams out to right center his last at bat for that home run, able to drive this one in the left center gap. Those are the guys that you have trouble with. Guys that can go gap to gap, line to line. Obviously he's a big strong dude and can't fall behind to these guys.
Dyer takes a strike. It's 0-1. Fly ball shallow center. And Herrera will settle under it. Duda attacks from second, but only takes a step off the bag. 2 outs. Saturday, May 16th, before the Phillies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, it's the 11th annual youth softball celebration. Softball players can take part in an interactive clinic led by the Phillies ball girls during the day. Registration is necessary. Ticket discounts are available for youth softball players, coaches, and parents. Visit Phillies.com/softball for more information. Phillies ball girls, since that program's been implemented, have done an awful lot in the community, and see them at the ballpark doing the red goes green duties, helping to lead those. Always down the left and right field line. They just had a fashion show right before the team came back north. They're going to walk Murphy to face Campbell, who to his credit really hasn't missed a beat tonight. But the more experienced Daniel Murphy will be intentionally walked here. After being in the first 2 games of the series, the Phillies took a 1-0 lead in tonight's ball game. But the Mets haven't looked back since taking the lead with the home run by d'Arnaud in the 3rd. Going to bear down now. Here is Eric Campbell. Pours that one in for a strike, and it's 3-1. That one's in there, slider, and it's 3-2.
Good pitch by Justin there behind the count. 3-1 count. Don't want to walk him, but still don't want to give in.
Well, you got Lagares on deck. He's hit the ball hard 2 of his 3 times tonight.
I like him too. I really do.
Runners go. Pitch is hit foul, and it remains 3-2 with 2 outs. Terry Collins said before the ballgame that they're not going to make any adjustments. Eric Campbell is going to be the third baseman, while David Wright is out on the disabled list. He said every once in a while he may move Wilmer Flores over there to give Campbell a day off, but there was some thought that they might move Daniel Murphy to third and put somebody else at second base. He said we're not going to do that. Runners go again. And another foul ball. It remains 3-2. Interesting with David Wright. Back in 2013, he had a similar hamstring issue, and he played through it and then blew out in August and missed a significant amount of time. So that's why he said he took himself out of the game last night, because he didn't want to have the same thing happen here. That one's hit back toward the middle. Hernandez gobbles it up and throws over to first in time. Inning is over, but another run scores for the Mets. They leave a couple. We go to the 7th inning here at Citi Field. The Phillies down by 5. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Well, after the Phillies jumped out to a 1-0 lead thanks to a triple and a run scored by Odubel Herrera, Jerome Williams could not hold on. 5 runs over 5 innings of work. Jonathan East, meanwhile, 6 innings, just 1 earned run. Travis d'Arnaud and Lucas Duda have both homered for the Mets. So here we go, top of the 7th inning, and the top of the order is coming up. Now it's 1 ball and no strikes to Herrera.
And we talk about the Phillies' struggles, especially with runners in scoring position. Todd Zalecki just tweeted out they are 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight and 2 for 21 in the series against the Mets.
Kind of what we were saying in the last inning. They've had opportunities. In fact, they've left 6 in the last 3 innings. Two-0 pitch to Herrera. Pulls that one just past the diving Duda down the right field line. That could be another extra base hit. It will be another extra base hit. So he's got 2 doubles tonight and a triple. Well, that's a good sign. Hopefully this gets him going a night like this.
Do it right over it. And it's against the left. Remember last night I was telling you, Tom, when lefties are struggling, sometimes they like to face a lefty because it keeps them on the pitch a little bit longer. Now tonight he's got 3 extra base hits, one to right center.
Hernandez will get an infield hit.
one to right center, one to left center, and one down the line. So he's using the whole field. That means he's staying on the ball.
That's a great sign. So now Chase Utley will bat with runners on first and second. The Mets have their bullpen up now. The other thing about Herrera, I know you and I have talked about this. Murph's been involved in this conversation too. His defense in center field has been really good. His reactions to fly balls has been very good. And I think Juan Samuel, Murph, you would agree with this, right? Juan Samuel was pretty happy with how he has improved since starting this in spring training.
Yeah, it's funny. We had that conversation with Juan Samuel very early in spring training. I think in the first week I went to him and I talked to him about Herrera's defense, and he said that he was working extremely hard, because it is a new position for him, at working extremely hard to, kind of figure out how the ball's coming off the bat and how he has to break on balls. But by the end of spring training, they weren't even talking about that. They were just talking about how good he was playing out in center field, and it's been fun to watch him progress and how quickly he's progressed in a new position, has Herrera. So, we were just talking about it amongst ourselves. The outfield defense this year has been pretty good. And, coming into the season, it was a question mark, but so far so good.
I think the one thing, and Ben, you would know this better. I mean, you've played this game for a long time. The one thing that it seems like he still has to get better at is coming in on balls, just reading whether a ball is hit hard or not, that he can come in and track down.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, the backdrops are different, but a lot is going to have to do with how the ball sounds off the bat as well. I know that sounds silly, but sometimes you think balls are going to be hit harder than they are, and they're not. But what you hear can play a big part of that as well. And just judging it. Listen, it's not easy. It's not easy. You're used to playing second base your entire life. You got in the outfield, it's a completely different animal out there. But I think he has adjusted very well.
Well, he's at second base. Hernandez is at first. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chase Utley. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Utley lays off, and it's 2-2.
You see Nice's pitch count get up. It's 92 right now.
The bullpen really hasn't been burdened in the series.
No.
Outside, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You watch up here, and that ball looks so far off the plate when you watch from up here, and there's a slight difference between the game speed and on a monitor here. And on the monitor, it looks really close. It's weird.
Foul tip hung on to by Darno, and Utley is struck out. He's 0 for 4 tonight.
Just another fastball.
Torres to your left, Torres to your right. And that's going to be it for Jonathan Nice. 6 in the 3rd. He's in line for the win unless the Phils are able to mount a comeback down by 5 with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. A pitching change. We'll let you know about the new pitcher when we return. On Tuesday, April 21st, when the Phils take on the Miami Marlins. All fans coming to the ballpark that night will receive the commemorative pin. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. You can stop by Citizens Bank Park in the ticket office. Number 42 retired all over baseball. It is one of 4 numbers retired here at Citi Field. Carlos Torres will be the new pitcher for the Mets. He comes in with a 0 earned run average. This will be his 5th game. The Mets said before the ball game that their closer, Jeurys Familia, was not an option tonight if it came to a save situation. They haven't really burdened their guys. We haven't seen everybody out of their bullpen yet in this series. We haven't seen either Torres, Alex, or Carlos until now.
Well, none of them have gone multiple innings.
Right. That one's pulled towards shortstop. Could be 2. There's 1 and 2. 6-4-3 double play. Torres just throws a couple pitches, and the Phillies are retired here in the 7th inning. They leave 1. Time to stretch here at Citi Field with the Phils down 6-1. Bottom of the 7th inning. Clocking in at 70 pages per minute, the HP OfficeJet Pro X is the perfect addition to your starting lineup, and now 50% off. Get yours today from who? But WB Mason. Grady Sizemore will take over in right field as part of a double switch. Dustin McGowan is the new pitcher, his 4th ball game. Pitched in last night's game. In fact, he came on for Jake Diekman. Diekman pitched, just finished up the 1 inning last night. He wound up going a 3rd. We all thought he was gonna come back out to pitch again. But Ryan Sandberg made a double switch because he only has the 1 lefty, so he's trying to limit the amount of innings. Early on that Diekman throws. No balls and 1 strike. Grounded to the 3rd. Ashley's got it. Nice play by Ruff to come off the bag, recognizing immediately, 1 out.
You know, it's kind of ironic that the Phillies only have that 1 lefty in the bullpen. We're down in spring training, and I'd say, how many more lefties can come out of the bullpen? It was just one after the other, and all thrown in the mid-90s.
And where did they all go?
And it was like they just disappeared. You know, that's why it's weird to just see Deke out there by himself.
You know, honestly, I think if Andy Oliver had accepted, the Phillies, I wanted him to stay with the organization. I think if he had accepted it, he probably would be back up here.
Yeah.
Instead, he's with the Tampa Bay Rays. Tejada takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Torres is warming up in the bullpen, Ben.
He just pitched.
He's going to throw left-handed now. Inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I was watching a spring training game. I guess they were out in Vegas. It was the Cubs and the A's. And there's a kid with the A's.
Pat.
Righty and lefty.
Yeah, Pat.
Depends on the hitter that comes up, but he's got this 6-finger glove thing that he uses, and he was effective, like really effective from both sides.
Yeah, Pat Venditti, I believe that's how you pronounce it. He went to Creighton University, and he throws totally different from both sides.
It's amazing.
He was with the Yankees organization. I think a lot of people anticipated that he would eventually get up with the Yankees organization. Greg Harris, who Phillies fans might remember, did the same thing. There's ball 4, a 1-out walk, and Kirk Neuenhuis is going to pinch hit. Time for the Major League Notebook, Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Yes, Yasiel Puig is out of the Dodgers lineup for the 2nd straight night. He is dealing with a hamstring issue, and the Dodgers have the day off tomorrow, so Don Mattingly being very careful with him. Going to give him 3 days off in a row in hopes that they can get him back. And some news out of Arizona as well. The Yasmani Tomas era has begun. Arizona has called up their Cuban prospect, the 24-year-old who signed a 6-year, $65 million contract in the winter. Had been playing down in Reno, but now he is up with the big club, and it all gets started for him tonight, guys.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. I anticipated that they were going to keep him down there a little longer because, he wasn't what they had anticipated in spring training. They felt like he really needed some at-bats to get to the level of being a major league player. Chopper right side. Utley's got it. There's 1, and Hernandez is not able to turn the double play. 4-6 on the putout.
Tom, you're right about that. Tomas, he was one of the final cuts for Arizona. They were obviously hoping maybe he would make his way onto the team coming out of spring training, but he just didn't really show them what they needed to see. And he was only 4 for 21 down in Reno early on in the AAA season, but they've decided to bring him up and see what he can do up at the major league level. So it's a lot of money to keep down at the AAA level.
Absolutely.
For
sure. Granderson is now up with 2 men down. 1 for 4 in this ball game. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, you shell out that kind of glue for a player. You want to see a reward on that, a return on that right away. I did not see him going to the D-backs, though. I just didn't.
No, I didn't either. 1 ball and 1 strike. Slices it the other way. Another base hit for Granderson, his 2nd of the night. Keeps the inning alive. And runners on 1st and 2nd for d'Arnaud.
Watch Grandy. With his swing, they put that shift on, but he's hit a couple nice balls to left field, line drives. If he can start doing that, that's really going to help the Mets out because he's been pretty much a dead pull hitter his entire career. Even when he was with the Yankees, got that short porch and right. He hit a lot of home runs.
Yeah, and with the Tigers, he used to pepper that right center field gap.
Absolutely. But if you start doing that consistently, you're going to have to change that scouting report.
d'Arnaud is homered and doubled. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Fly ball short left. Cesar Hernandez at shortstop will make the catch. Inning is over, so no runs, no hits. 2 men left for the Mets. We've completed 7. We'll go to the 8th. The Phils looking for a little offense with Darren Ruff when we get back. Valley Honda dealer, or visit DelValHondaDealers.com today. And by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEF now or visit jefferson.edu. Phillies are down to their final 6 outs. They trail it by 5. Torres finished up the 7th by getting a double play ball, and now Torres will begin the 8th inning. It's Alex Torres, the lefty who the Mets got from the San Diego Padres. Murph did a story on Alex Torres last year wearing the new hat that Major League Baseball was offering to all pitchers, the oversized hat with the extra protection. He's waiting for that to arrive, the fitted one with the Mets logo on it. See what he's done in 2 games so far, just an inning in the 3rd, 1 strikeout. He's on to face Darren Ruff, Cody Ashley, Cameron Rupp.
Remember him wearing that thing. It looked like one of those old bullpen cars coming in. The giant hat.
It certainly did.
It's huge.
Well, he is going to wear it again, as we mentioned. They're fitting it to the Mets logo. I thought every team had at least 1 or 2, but you know, of all the sizes, but they didn't.
Why couldn't he just use the one he had last year and get it repainted?
SDNY. I don't know if he was able to. The cloth. It's the wool covering that pad. It's not like a helmet. It's not like John Olerud used to go out and play first base with the helmet.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I say that. Murph, you saw the hat. I mean, it's a hat, but it's got padding in it, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, it was just the same as a regular ball cap would feel and look, except it was a little bit bigger and had that extra padding in the front.
Kind of like a bullpen car, the top of a bullpen car.
Right. It was very much like that, actually. You know, what struck me was when I held it last year was the weight difference between the regular cap and this big padded cap really was, I thought, relatively insignificant, and that's what Torres said as well about it. He says he doesn't even notice it. Some folks were concerned whether or not that, you know, a little extra weight on their head would kind of throw off their mechanics, but he said it was a non-issue, and when I was holding it, I thought about the same. I mean, slightly heavier, but certainly not anything that you would notice after wearing it for a little bit.
And the outside was a felt material?
Yeah, it was just the same as a regular ball cap.
You want one?
I know people. I can get you one.
I'm good.
It would have to be a big one.
Yeah, it would. Here's Ashe. Ashe is 3 for 3. Takes high. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's 5 in a row by Torres. You look up there, and it's just very deceiving on the eyes. You look up and see .500. I mean, that's. I know, obviously, it's not going to last, but he does look really good right now.
Down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, he has hit his way into the leaders thanks to a 6-for-10 series against the Mets, the leaders in the National League as far as batting average goes. He had missed a couple of games. That's low, 3-2.
But his takes, I mean, he's not even budging at those pitches. Not even budging.
It's a good thing, too, because Murph talked to him about his swing yesterday, and if he didn't get a couple hits tonight, he probably would never talk to Murph again. Check swing.
And Murph did clear that with me before the game. He said, "Is it okay if I go over and ask him?" And then he asked me about Frank Court today. I said, "Yeah, as long as you phrase it the right way, it's not a problem."
Hey, I know how you baseball guys can be sometimes. And don't think that didn't cross my mind, Tom, because I did think about that last night. After he hit the home run, I felt better about it.
Yeah, because they blame it on everybody else, Murph. They don't just take it on themselves.
I didn't say that.
3-2 pitch. Fouled back, and it remains 3-2. Ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second. Back-to-back walks issued by Torres. And Cameron Rupp will bat. And Worthen coming out.
A 6-1 ball game. A 3-2 changeup.
At some point you have to say something to the catcher too, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wanted a fastball. I saw that. Torres shook him to the changeup, but maybe if you're catching him, it might be a good time to go out. No, we're throwing a heater.
Yeah. Well, I think, and you know this better than anybody, that I think as you get older, you get more assertive with some of that stuff too.
Absolutely.
Quick conversation with Dan Worthen. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Rupp has singled twice, reached on an error. He has 2 on with nobody out. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Well, there you go. He throws a fastball on the first pitch.
He has hit the ball hard all 3 times up tonight.
Popped him up. Down the right field line into foul territory. Duda makes the catch. And 1 out. So 1 away. Ben Revere's coming up. Sizemore is the next batter. He's in the pitcher spot. to the right side, and Duda will get the out. I think just barely beats Revere to the bag, and they're 2 away. Runners on second and third, and Sizemore will get a chance to bat. All right, so the Phillies have left 7 in the last 4 innings. Let's see if they can cash in here and get a couple with Sizemore coming up.
Torres not
into the game right now.
Well, no, I mean, he's big of stature out there, but he really slings it. He's 92, 93.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say he didn't cover first on that ground ball.
Well, I don't know why Duda laid back on that so much.
Yeah, because he could have just taken it himself.
Yeah,
easily.
I mean, could have charged it a little bit more.
Sizemore hitting 111. Fastball, and it's 0-1. So the Phillies have done tonight. That's just tonight. 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. They turn a whole lot better at 2 for 12, but they have scored 6 runs. They have 6 runs on 12 hits. Broke his bat, and a ground ball to second base. Murphy is up with it. Side is retired. 2 more left by the Phils. 9 the last 5 innings. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets holding on to a comfortable 5-run lead. Earlier, Chase Utley decided to bunt, and Eric Campbell did a nice job making the play.
It was good on both ends, coming in to attack that baseball, Eric Campbell, and then Lucas Duda does a good job of picking it out of the dirt on that bunt there by Chase Utley, and that is the Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers, and here's Lucas Duda to lead things off as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. McGowan stays in for the Phils. Pitches in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies have not seen Papelbon in 4 days. Thought maybe he'd get an inning of work here tonight, just to get an inning of work. Hughes shot foul. It's 2-2. Haven't seen Luis Garcia in this series.
Yeah, I thought for sure Pass would get an inning tonight, regardless of how the game went.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot of McGowan. A lot of DeFreitas. We've only seen Diekman for a third of an inning. Two-two pitch. Low, ball 3. Fly ball to left. Revere at the track and makes the catch. One away. Time now for our WB Mason deliveries of the game. Long ball.
Lucas Duda gets a pitch up out over the plate. And the big strong man deposits it in seats in right center field. And then he goes left center gap. Another RBI. Scoring d'Arnaud. And that is your WB Mason delivery of the game.
Kadire takes low. It's 1-0. Michael Kadire doubled back in the 5th. He's now hit in 13 straight against the Phillies. Out of play. Rafael Montero is up in the bullpen. Check swing. Did he go? No.
Obviously a pinch runner here for Kadire, I would assume.
Mets were saying last night that they were happy that d'Arnaud didn't get thrown out when he was arguing the catcher's interference, because they were going to have to put Jacob deGrom in to play third base, because they were going to be out of players when Wright was hurt. Dribbler out in front of the plate. Rupp will have one play. It's at first. Dug out by Ruff. And there are 2 outs. In fact, we mentioned that we saw deGrom going down into the dugout, scurrying down into the dugout. Well, he was going down to get his spikes on in case he was needed for anything offensively if the game happened to get tied.
You mentioned he played shortstop in college.
Light hitting shortstop.
Light hitting. I think he made the right choice.
Who would have thought that back then? Popped him up. Darren Ruff crosses over into foul territory. One last chance for the Phillies to try to avoid a sweep up here at Citi Field. We'll go to the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies down 6-1.
Last chance for the Phillies to avoid the sweep here in New York. After the game, the Phillies will board a train, head south down to take on the Nationals in a 4-game set. There you see the pitching matchups. Tomorrow, Cole Hamels against Doug Fister, the right-hander for Washington. Sean O'Sullivan will get the start on Friday night against Max Scherzer. Saturday afternoon, it'll be Aaron Harang versus Jordan Zimmerman. And then on Sunday afternoon, David Buchanan will take the ball for the Phils. Steven Strasburg gets it for the Nationals. Guys?
All right, Marv, thank you very much. Man, that is one heck of a rotation. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1, 2, 3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports and also the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Odubel Herrera's had a good night, 3 for 4. If you're looking for a bright spot, there are 2. I guess you could say 3, but 2 definitive everyday players, Herrera and Cody Ashe tonight. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It has not been a good series for the Phillies. They've lost the first 2. They're 3 outs away from being swept and losing their 15th in their last 18 against the Mets.
And you knew going into this 3-game series they were going to have their work cut out for them. DeGrom, Harvey, and Neese.
Tonight had a totally different feel, though. It really did. You know, they jumped out to the 1-0 lead. You're thinking, all right, well, this is going to be their night offensively, but they couldn't get anything going after that first inning. And even in the first, they got the triple, but that was all they got. Leadoff triple.
Yep. And they go down, throw a 0 in the bottom of the first, and that just kind of snowballed on them after that.
Inside, 2-2.
The Mets did have a very good approach against Jerome Williams. They didn't try and do too much.
They figured he was going to be right around the plate. They ran after him early.
And they hit some balls hard, really hard. I mean, he gave up 10 hits in 5 innings.
Duda with a couple of extra base hits. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball over to first. Ooh, what a big hop for Duda. Can he win the race, Torres? Yes, he does. Juan Samuel is saying, I don't know if they'll challenge this at all. Ryan Sandberg's coming up the steps. I think what he wants is for once, you know, they want Juan Samuel or Odubel Herrera to say something to the umpire, kind of slow it down a little bit. Larry Bowa just said he was out. 3-1 on the put out. By a half step. Ben, what do you think?
He was out, but it was close. Such a luxury, though, to be able to run like that. That's why instinctively for those pitchers it's so important for them to be bouncing off that mound. And sometimes it's hard for a lefty because their momentum, sometimes they fall off towards that third base side,
right,
like he really does. And they get their momentum and try and get back towards first base. See, guys like this, they're susceptible to push bunts, drag bunts, because they do fall off the mound so much. And you have a guy that can motor. It's tough.
0-2 to Hernandez. And a call, strike 3, right on the outside part of the plate, 2 outs. And that'll leave it for Chase Utley.
This kid's fastball really gets on you.
93 with that one. It's 0-1.
Now that shows you the opportunities the Phillies did have. I mean, this is Chase's 5th at bat, and he's in the 3-hole.
That's a good point.
It's his 5th at bat, and they only have 1 run.
And it was his RBI back in the first inning on a ground out. No balls, 1 strike to Utley. Chopper back towards shortstop, charging is Tejada. And the Mets have swept out the Phils in this 3-game series. They win it tonight by a final score of 6-1. Phillies, after a 3-3 homestand, thought they'd get a win or 2 here at Citi Field, but it was not the case here this week. So now they'll regroup, turn the page, and hope for more success down in Washington. Our Chevrolet player of the game was the starting pitcher for the New York Mets. He was able to front run after his team gave him the lead, and it's Jonathan Deese.
He was as advertised, and again continues to be a thorn in the Phillies side. A lot of fastballs tonight. He didn't do that in his first start, but he threw a lot of fastballs tonight. And then he helped himself with the bat. 2-out knock here. Brings in Lagares. Very quick on this double play. Gets it and fires it to second base. Murphy completes that double play.
And he is our Chevrolet player of the game. That double play was interesting. He got it and just threw it and expected that somebody was going to be at the second base bag. 6-1 the final score. The Mets have won it. They've swept out the Phils. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.